The City Council meeting on July 3rd, 10 o'clock, is now open, and I will turn that to staff to give us a brief summary of what we're about to do.
Yeah, so today's action is to consider a resolution authorizing the designation of the West Eugene Enterprise Zone as an electronic e-commerce zone, which offers a state income tax credit for businesses who are e-commerce businesses who are making investments and creating jobs in the West Eugene Enterprise Zone.
Okay. Is there, Alan, do you want to put the motion on the table and then we can have discussion if need be?
Sure. What's the name of the resolution? I can't find the resolution number.
Alan,
Here it goes. Yeah.
you want me to read the motion and then you can do the so moved?
Oh, there is none.
Motion
That'd be great.
I move to adopt Resolution 5203, a resolution requesting that the West Eugene Zone be designated for electronic commerce.
Do we have a second?
So moved.
Oh, sorry. And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Now, any discussion on this or questions?
Yes, I have something to say.
Okay, Betty, go for it.
Okay, I will be voting against this. This could include call centers, according to Denny when I asked the question. We would be recruiting, we could be recruiting a call center, which we all know doesn't pay very much in wages, and they would get a tax break. So I think this is wrong. I'm opposed to all the enterprise zones, but I'm especially opposed to something that could include a call center. And we all know that they come and they go once the tax break is gone. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mayor, this is Alan. This is Alan.
Go for it.
Can we have staff go through the slides that they handed out on our meeting?
Would you like me to go through the slides?
Yes, please.
Sure. So I can talk a little bit. I can do a quick reminder of the West Eugene Enterprise Zone, which offers a short-term property tax exemption for businesses who are making an investment and growing their workforce. This is pretty much for focusing on growth in the manufacturing and traded sectors. The zone currently encompasses most of the industrial land in West Eugene. It's about 7.5 square miles. The e-commerce zone is an overlay to the enterprise zone. E-commerce businesses are those that primarily engage in transactions via the internet. This can include taking orders, closing sales, making purchases, providing customer service, or other activities that support the company's services. The e-commerce zone offers a state income tax credit against their income tax liability or corporate excise tax liability. In order to qualify, a business must engage in e-commerce, they must make a qualifying capital investment, and they must increase their workforce by at least 10%. The state income tax credit is equal to 25% of the investment made in the capital assets. The maximum credit is $2 million per year, and unused credits can also be carried over for 5 years. The reason we're having this this action today on July 3rd is that the e-commerce zone is a competitive process. This year, only 2 zones will become available, and there's 69 total enterprise zones in the state. We previously had the e-commerce designation, which expired when our enterprise zone expired last year, and we tried to redesignate the zone, but were unsuccessful in this competitive process. And so in order to get the overlay, we informed the state of our interest on July 1, so this past Saturday, and if more than one zone declared their interest on the same day, the tiebreaker awards a designation to the zone, which has an earlier date of adopting the e-commerce resolution. And so today was the first date that we were able to take action on the resolution. And then in terms of why this designation would be important is that it's aligned with our community's investment in growing the technology sector, but also with the evolution of the manufacturing sector. our manufacturing sector is headed towards this e-commerce growth, and the zone will be an important tool to support the growth of our existing businesses, and many of whom already manufacture their goods here in Eugene but sell to customers around the world via the internet. And so the designation ensures that we remain competitive with other communities in Oregon. Currently, Springfield, Salem, Medford, Bend, and Portland area all have e-commerce designations.
Couple of questions. One, is this for new businesses or existing businesses to expand and
Both.
invest?
It can apply apply to both.
Okay, and so we had the e-commerce in place previously, and then it expired, but nobody chose to put in an application. We awarded no e-commerce tax exemptions.
That's correct. We had the e-commerce zone for, I think, 4 years.
So on the resolution, in the findings, in B, it says the West Eugene Enterprise Zone is a successful economic development tool. So that's not the e-commerce zone. That's the enterprise zone, because we didn't have any success with the e-commerce zone.
Right. Just no businesses applied for the e-commerce tax exemption in the 4 years that we had it.
So B in the resolution is referring to the broader broader West Eugene Enterprise Zone only.
Correct.
Okay. What's the clawback provision should they fail to meet the criteria and not provide the required 10%?
Then they would have to
increase the jobs.
Right. They would have to have created the jobs in order to get the tax credit. So they wouldn't be getting the tax credit unless they had increased their workforce by 10%.
Right, but what's the clawback? So how do they monitor that, and what happens if in year 3 they let those people go? What happens to the tax exemption? How do they figure it out?
This income tax credit is a little bit different from the property tax exemption. So the property tax exemption, they just wouldn't, if in that 3rd year they their workforce declined more than they were supposed to, then they wouldn't receive that exemption in their 3rd year. But if they had it in the first 2 years, they would still receive that exemption. But then there's also our additional local criteria that has that partial clawback.
Yeah, I refreshed my memory on that. I forgot that one. That's what I was getting at. What's the clawback? It just says what? For
the general enterprise zone?
Yeah.
It's if they don't meet all of our additional local criteria or enough, if they don't meet enough, they would pay back up to 25% of their exemption. And then there's also the job cap criteria, which limits the amount of exemption they can get depending on how many jobs they're creating. And with that, they would have to pay back up to 1/3 of their exemption, which by state law is the most that we are able to claw back if they've met the 10% requirement.
Mm-hmm. But in this one, the e-commerce one, it's more or less done retroactively and after in the next year's income tax, so they wouldn't get any income tax, zero, not 75%, but zero in the 3rd year should they reduce it below 10% increase?
I believe so.
Is there any wage minimum threshold, or is it just it can be minimum wage?
I guess it could be minimum wage, but any businesses that would be taking advantage of the e-commerce zone would still be required to meet our enterprise zone local criteria.
And what does our local enterprise zone criteria say about wages?
Well, it's one of the criteria that's highlighted, and so businesses could get points if they offer if their wages are at 150% or at, I think, 100% of the county median wage.
Median wage.
Right.
Okay. And then to get the 4 and 5 year exemption, they have to be 150% of the average median wage.
Yes.
So this is a minimum. Well,
The median
could
of the
apply
median wage.
A minimum. Right. Median average, same thing. So they could apply for a enterprise zone at the minimum wage, but it's competitive, and if anybody were to apply for a tax exemption that had a higher wage, they would have the competitive advantage in the process.
Well, if they meet the requirements of the enterprise zone, if as long as they're have a qualifying investment in our qualifying business and they increase their their workforce by 10%, then they would qualify for the
automatically
enterprise zone. Right.
And it has to be at the median wage for Lane County or higher.
For the extra 4 to 5 years.
Oh, okay, that's 150%. But there is no requirement on the first 3 years.
No.
Okay. So it could be a minimum wage job.
Yes, it could be. But we again, the local criteria for that the city of Eugene imposes on the enterprise zone, one of the criteria awards points to businesses who offer wages higher than the median wage in the traded sectors.
So how does that affect the application?
It doesn't affect.
If you have higher wages, you get.
It doesn't affect the application. It kind of plays into the clawback. So if they're offering a high enough wage, then that decreases the chance that there would be any clawback.
Yeah, so that's not on the table right now, all those criteria, because we already did that. This is just expanding it into e-commerce.
Right.
With the same criteria as our other enterprise zone.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was helpful. Yeah, thank you for that. And any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Merit, this is Claire. I've got question, comment.
Go for it.
So just you noted that it's a income tax exemption, not a property tax exemption.
Correct. It's a state income tax credit. So it's a tax credit for their state income tax or their corporate excise tax.
So I don't know if you can kind of give us what are the implications for our own tax revenues then. Presumably we get a portion of state income tax.
I'm not sure on the specifics of that. These businesses, if they're making an investment that would qualify for the property tax exemption, then that would be happening regardless of whether or not we have the e-commerce zone. But the e-commerce zone tax credit would only income the state income tax. So there shouldn't be any difference.
My question is, do we get state income tax, don't we, as a city, or do we not?
Claire, this is Glenn. We don't get state income tax. We get state shared revenues. The likelihood overall, correct. So granting this would not affect the city's budget because we're not getting any of the state income tax for our budget.
So it's very different from the enterprise zone in that respect, which is a property tax exemption that directly affects our general fund.
Correct.
Okay. And in terms of, thanks, Glenn, in terms of the qualifying for the e-commerce, is it similar to the enterprise zone that if they meet the state and local criteria, they automatically get a certain amount and they could then apply for an extension of that?
Yes, to qualify for the e-commerce zone, they would have to qualify for the standard enterprise zone also.
Right, but is it a set period of time that if they meet all the criteria, they automatically get it, and council doesn't get to say yay or nay, but if they want an extension, they have to come to us?
Correct, and so there's no extension associated with the e-commerce zone, but if they wanted the enterprise zone extension, that would still remain the same process of coming to council.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm generally supportive of this, but, you know, I share Councillor Taylor's critique of the idea of call centers. So I guess that's my other question is, if it's a new employer and they haven't been established yet, then I'm presuming their criteria is slightly different from one who's expanding because they can't do that expand by 10% piece.
Correct. They would, if they're starting with zero employment in the zone, they technically would only have to be creating one job, but then they would still have to be qualifying for the correct type of business, a qualifying type of business.
Right. So, on the call center jobs, I agree with Councilor Taylor's critique of their wage scale, but I will also point out that Oregon's minimum wage is going up. So the, $9.25 an hour jobs, I believe, are gone. And I'm sorry, I don't have on the tip of my tongue what our new minimum wage is, but, they are better paying jobs now than they were 10 years ago because of the raise in the minimum wage. So while I think call center jobs aren't the greatest jobs in the world, I think they're not maybe as onerous as they might have once been in the past. So thanks. Those were my questions and comments.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question or comment?
Mayor, this is Alan. I have another.
Yeah, go for it, Alan.
So back on I share Councilor Taylor's concerns too. That's why I was asking the questions. I'm not particularly supportive of enterprise zones, but so back on a new business only has to create one job, and it could be a one job minimum wage job, and they could get this credit.
They would have to be a qualifying business, but technically by right, if they were applying to the enterprise zone, then yes. But I guess that question comes in for the administrative costs for, I imagine most businesses wouldn't be going through the steps to seek out an exemption if they're creating only one job.
The whole point for me is that it creates jobs. And that seems like a loophole that
I think that's
wasn't thought through.
That's if you're looking at small local businesses who have under 10 employees but are making an investment, they would only be required to increase their job by either 10% or just one job.
Right, which is a great segue into my next question, which was what kind of businesses apply for this? As I recall, when we didn't have any, but when we've done the West Eugene Enterprise Zone, it was mostly, with the exception of Hynix, it was all small businesses. Is that correct?
Correct. It's been all local businesses except for Hynix.
And then you take Hynix out, which was a huge one, but it was mostly. So how would you characterize a small business? 10, 20 under employees?
I don't have that statistic with me currently. But there's been 24 businesses that have participated in the enterprise zone, and 23 of them have been local businesses that were started in the Eugene area.
All right. This one, and then last question for Glenn. So we don't get state income tax directly, but we get shared revenue from the state. Isn't part of that shared revenue pool of money that gets created, isn't part of that income tax?
I don't have the details, Alan, but even if it were, the state shared revenues is based off of the state's total income tax that they're receiving. And this would have, I can't tell you exactly the percentage, but it's going to be about 0.0000% effect on the state income tax.
Right, because it would be the state income tax, and then the distribution by that amount of that tax credit would be spread over all the cities and counties in the state.
Correct.
In the state. So there would be a tiny drop in that overall amount, and then that redistribution would be even smaller for us. So it's not like a property tax exemption where it's all of it.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Okay, anybody else with questions? I just have a quick question myself about the fact that this wasn't used in the first round. Are there any insights about why that was the case?
I'm not sure. It's before my time, and Denny is not here.
Okay.
But I think we would be probably a little bit more strategic about how we use it and who we kind of do outreach, which companies we would kind of do outreach with to let them know this opportunity.
So there's that part of your outreach and sort of targeting companies that where the jobs are maybe of a higher quality, or whether that's a local company that's expanding its operation.
Correct.
You have some influence in encouraging certain companies to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we ready for?
Mayor, it's also
yes.
it's Alan. It's also it's a very limited pool of types of businesses that can apply.
That can apply.
Not everybody. So
yes. No, I understand that.
The universe down too.
Right. And I didn't know whether the economy might have influenced it. That it wasn't necessarily 2008 to 2012. Right. This expired, and the last one we got was. I'm sorry, I've lost track of the time frame.
It was active from 2012 to 2016.
2012 to 2016. Oh, okay, so the economy was growing then. Okay, sorry, I had it back. All right. Okay, are we ready for a vote? All in favor of the proposed motion?
Mayor?
Mayor, I suggest you do a roll call.
Yes. Oh, sorry. What do we have to do?
I was going to make the same suggestion Alan just did. Roll call so we know who's voting which way.
So we know who's voting. Okay, perfect. So in that case, I will call out the names, and you can. So I have Alan.
Reluctant, yes.
Okay. Emily.
Yes.
Okay. Claire.
I vote yes.
Okay. Jennifer.
Yes.
Okay. Chris.
Yes.
Betty.
No.
All right. So that's 5 in favor, 1 opposed, and it passes.
Thank you all for
how easy
No surprise.
how easy this job is, Jennifer?
I'm sorry, say that again?
See how easy this job is, Jennifer?
I don't know.
Just phone it in.
I told my family.
You just phone it in.
Probably.
All right. That's great. Thank you all.
Thank you all for making time.
Yeah, thank you, staff, for making this happen. And have a good day. And happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks, Amanda. Nice job.